Hi guys, welcome to this episode of Success Talks Football. While some matches have been played during the week, we still have more matches to be played in the weekend. So let's take a look at the fixtures from the top 5 leagues. Starting with the Premier League, on Friday, May 16th, we have Aston Villa versus Tottenham at 7:30 p.m. And that same day, we have Chelsea versus Man United at 8:15 p.m. And on Sunday, May 18th, we have Everton versus Southampton at 12 noon. We have West Ham versus Nottingham Forest at 2:15 p.m. We also have Brentford versus Fulham at 3 p.m. We have Leicester City versus Ipswich Town at the same time. We have Arsenal versus Newcastle at 4:30 p.m. Also, we have Brighton versus Liverpool at 8 p.m. At the same time, we have Crystal Palace versus Wolves and also Man City versus Bournemouth. And this will be the last match for match day 37 of 38. So for this year, it's going to be 5 teams that will qualify for the Champions League from the Premier League. So it is the top 5 and it is still eating up. Newcastle isn't standing strong yet. Man City isn't standing strong yet. Same as Chelsea, same as Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest is knocking at the door. Aston Villa is also knocking at the door. So it means that it can still be any of these teams. And if guys not taking, Arsenal might just drop from the second position. They may not end up being second on the league table at the end of the season, considering how they've been performing. This Arsenal, anything is possible. In La Liga, for match day 37 of 38, all the matches are going to be on Sunday, May 18th, and at the same time, which is 6 p.m. The season is rounding off, so it is normal for games to be on the same day. This is what is going to also happen for the last game, which is going to be match 38 of 38. So these matches are Las Palmas versus Leganes, Valladolid versus Alaves, Osasuna versus Espanyol, Celta Vigo versus Rayo Vallecano, Barcelona versus Villarreal, Real Sociedad versus Girona, Sevilla versus Real Madrid, Mallorca versus Getafe, Valencia versus Athletic Club, and Atletico Madrid versus Real Betis. Now, Espanyol doesn't want to get relegated, which is why they really needed that match against Barcelona, but unfortunately they lost. So they have to win this next match not to be relegated. Else, relegation is knocking at the door. So in La Liga, the battle is more on the teams that are going to be relegated. For the top 4, it's almost sealed. It's just Athletic Bilbao that should be careful. They need to win all their the remaining 2 matches to remain in the top 4. But the other 3 teams have been sealed already. So for the relegating teams, Espanyol and Alaves have to be careful not to be relegated. They are not relegated yet, but they have to win the remaining of their matches, which was why Espanyol was really hell-bent on winning that match against Barcelona. But Barcelona was obviously the better team, so they have to win the remaining of their 2 matches not to be relegated. Real Valladolid's place have been sealed, and I think one of the team, and Las Palmas also. In Serie A, on Saturday, May 17th, it is Genoa versus Atalanta at 7:45 p.m. And on Sunday, May 18th, the remaining matches for match day 37 of 38 will be played at the same time, which is 7:45 p.m. And they are Juventus versus Udinese, Monza versus Empoli, Cagliari versus Venezia, Lecce versus Torino, Inter versus Lazio, Verona versus Como, Parma versus Napoli, Fiorentina versus Bologna, and Roma versus Milan. While 4 of the winners have been declared from the top 5 leagues, we still have 1 that hasn't been declared, and it is Serie A. Napoli, who is first on the league table, is just 1 point above Inter Milan, who is second on the league table, and they have 2 matches left. So it means that Napoli just have to win all their matches, while Inter also have to win all their matches in case Napoli loses. In the Bundesliga, it is match day 34 of 34, which means it is the last match of the season. This is why all the matches are going to be on the same day and at the same time. So it's going to be on Saturday, May 17th, and at 2:30 p.m. And they are Hoffenheim versus Bayern Munich, Udenheim versus Werder, Mönchengladbach versus Wolfsburg, Augsburg versus Union Berlin, Dortmund versus Austin Kiel, Leipzig versus Stuttgart, Freiburg versus Frankfurt, Mainz versus Bayer Leverkusen, and St. Pauli versus Bochum. In the Bundesliga, the battle for the top 4 is between Frankfurt, Freiburg, and Dortmund. I mean, the first and second position are already sealed. They are miles ahead of these three teams, but then they all have to win their last matches to remain. I mean, Freiburg is already in the top 4. Frankfurt is already in the top 4. They have to win their match so that Dortmund, because Dortmund is just by the door knocking, so that Dortmund doesn't take that position. So they all have to win their matches, and Dortmund is just watching in case any of them snoozes. Finally, guys, it's the Ligue 1. As it is in the Bundesliga, it is match day 34 of 34, which is the last match for the season. This means that it is going to be on the same day, and it is on Saturday, May 17, and at the same time, 8 p.m. And they are Nantes versus Montpellier, Strasbourg versus Le Havre, Nice versus Brest, Lyon versus Angers, Marseille versus Reims, Lens versus Monaco, Saint-Etienne versus Toulouse, PSG versus Auxerre, and Lille versus Reims. In the Ligue 1, the top 4 battle is just between Nice, Lille, and Strasbourg. I mean, they're all on the same point. However, Nice is still in the top 4. So it means that Nice just have to win their last match to remain there. And then for Lille and Strasbourg, they are just going to be looking out for Nice. They also have to win in case Nice snoozes. Hey guys, thank you for staying till the end of this video. I mean, you deserve enough to take care. Thank you for staying, and do not forget to follow us on TikTok, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, share, and also comment. Bye. See you in the next episode.